We speak to Hatem Bazian, a professor of Middle Eastern cultures and languages at the University of California, Berkeley. Hatem, thank you so much indeed for your time. I'd like you just to think back historically. Can you recall any conflict where one of the combatants has acted like Israel has with such impunity?
Well, I have not seen or can examine anything in history that is comparable to what Israel has done. And this is going back all the way to World War I and World War II, including, if we just know, about 165 journalists have been murdered, more than any of the conflicts that we have seen in the 20th and in 21st century. So Israel is conducting its war of revenge with impunity, with no one from the international community, or what stands as the international community, meaning Western powers. Not only that they have been silent, I would say they have been complicit. Just today, the announcement from the U.S. that they're actually releasing some of the heavy bomb ammunition to be delivered to Israel, and also send 12 ships, military ships, to protect Israel in the middle of an unfolding genocide. So this have not been seen before, and we're literally witnessing a genocide that is live streamed in front of our eyes, with no one actually saying or attempting to bring a stop to it.
In terms of the language that is being used internationally from diplomats, of course, it's not incumbent only on the West to try to find a solution, but the West sets itself up as the moral guardian of what is right. So what is happening there? Is it a disregard for Palestinian life? Is it a failure of diplomacy? Or is it simply a refusal to try to rein Israel in? Because the hypocrisy, considering what the West is saying about Russian attacks in Ukraine, if a Russian missile fell on a Ukrainian school or a Ukrainian hospital, imagine the reaction.
Well, I do think that the war on Gaza has completely removed the facade and the mask that the West have had for quite some time, at least since World War II, to be the arbiter, the custodian, the moral spokesperson for what stands for international law, human rights, and so on. And I think Gaza have exposed this wide to the whole world. And we also need to take account that the West has been, in essence, engaged in wars in the region for quite some time. Iraq is in front of us, Afghanistan, the disaster that's unfolded on Libya, continued intervention in Yemen, Somalia, Sudan, and so on. So what Gaza has done is brought all this context together to really point to the complete bankruptcy of the international legal system, international diplomatic system in what is developing right in Gaza. It's not only that they've been silent, if silence would have been actually welcome, they've been aiding and abetting Israel in the committing of genocide. What we hear constantly from Western diplomats is that Israel has the right to defend itself. An occupying power under international law, under the Fourth Geneva Convention, this concept of actually defending itself by bombing schools, bombing hospitals, bombing 11 universities, bombing a water system, bombing United Nations on UNRWA offices, bombing and killing journalists. This actually points to the West is in essence giving a carte blanche for Israel to do what it wants without any due regard that it will face any consequences. Many of us are waiting for the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, in order for it to actually make a forceful determination and begin the proceedings of taking Israel to task for genocide based on the South Africa case. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, to actually issue arrest warrant for Netanyahu and the military leadership. But we'll have to wait and see whether those actually will be acted upon. Would any Western power actually arrest the Netanyahu or any of his ministers and his military personnel? That would be the test for the world system as it is today. I think we are going to be saying the pre-genocide world system and the post-genocide world system. The world system right now is facing its most, I would say, intense crisis of losing the moral, ethical high ground. If it actually was rhetorically able to stand by it, now the evidence is overwhelming that the rhetoric does not mean the policy. The policy is complicity with Israeli genocide.
Professor Bazian, thank you so much indeed for your time.
You're welcome.